Okay folks, I'm back. We're continuing on Louis-the-Hedgehog's, LTH's text or rant or whatever you want to call it. His thoughts on Ian Flynn. Okay. Alright, I just finished he's talking about something that a lot of people talked about, hoping this isn't an excuse to get Sally changed into another outfit and stuff. And what, her reaction to what the others have gone through would eventually be, especially her best friend buddy. Alright, continuing on, and I quote, "But in most likelihood, he's going to use that cheap cop-out formula ending that he's always been using. It's one little thing that sets everything back to normal. Don't get me wrong, I would prefer that to happen compared to what else he could come up to. But at the same time, won't that defeat the whole purpose of the story to begin with? You could crop out the whole story arc and things would continue on as if they never happened." And then he puts this in parentheses, not that this would be the worst thing. I actually want to move on from this, but without too many, if any, lasting after effects. And then he continues on. Or, let me get my drink of coffee here. Or he would use the whole tense approach he's also infamous for, or he'd use the whole tense, well not tense, but the whole tease approach, or tense approach, whatever it is, he's always infamous for. It looks like he's about to give what the readers have been crying for. Oh yeah, it's tease, okay. Or only to take it away over and over again, just for the sake of keeping the story going and the suspense up. All the while, the fans have been strung along more and more, and not leaving because they're too scared to. After all, who would be left to counter the insane ones? Finally, this mention of this fan comic, Other End. In it, Sally is brutally murdered, there are plenty of graphic scenes, and the official comic is becoming more and more like it, especially the brutal parts. I haven't read the whole thing yet, but maybe it's better that way. So what is the deal with Flynn? Is he someone who clearly has issues and desperately needs help? Is he trapped in an unfair position between the fans and the Sega mandates? Is he just lazy in recycling the same basic plot over and over again? Is he someone with the best intentions who is having his hand forced? Is he some guy on a power trip? Or is he up to an agenda he doesn't want you to know? Okay. And if Ian really does the unthinkable, well, Ian, if you're reading this, you think you have a lot of haters now? Just wait. For all we know, right now, all the things that we cared about that set Sonic's world apart from being just another video game character on the chopping. Okay. For all we know, right now, all the things that we cared about that set Sonic's world apart from being just another video game character are on the chopping block. And the blade is rising. And if it falls, and the legacy dies, Sonic the Hedgehog would be doomed to forever be just another pointless video game character. At best, we would likely have more Werehogs, Sonic Next Gens, and Sonic X's. At worst, our blue hero will just shrivel up and forever die. We cannot let this happen. Or we cannot let that happen. So yes, I too wanted things in this whole franchise to be darker and more serious. But one extreme, Sonic X, and he puts in parentheses Sonic X, does not justify another extreme, and in parentheses puts such as this, When Ben wrote a dark, edgier story, he did it in a way that teaches the audience freedom is good, tyranny is evil, things may be rough at times, but you can't give up. But when Ian does it, it tries to teach the audience life sucks, there's nothing you can do about it, so you may as well throw yourself into a furnace. In fact, hearing what has happened with this comic, which is based upon what I believe to be the best Sonic series ever, and speculating on what may be around the corner, that watching an episode of Sonic X, which I consider the worst Sonic series ever, actually cheered me up. Isn't that just sad? As far as our plan of action, I don't think that we should work... Okay, as far as our plan of action, I don't think we should work to oust him just yet. Maybe he will improve things like this present arc in his style later. But for the meantime, we must work to keep holding his feet to the fire as if tomorrow may be too late, reminding him that if he crosses the line, he's fucked. Not only that, but we'd make sure that it would be the end of his career, as we would ensure that every future interview for a writing position he would apply for would go as follows. And he quotes, this is what he says, and he quotes, "Oh, so you're the guy who killed the Sonic franchise. Hey everybody, it's the guy who killed Sonic the Hedgehog." Angry mob forms. Ian wets and browns his pants. It all boils down to one simple question. Who is Ian Flynn really? Is he the reluctant hero that this fanbase needs rather than wants? Is he a guy trapped between Sega and the fans? Or will he be the last nail in Sonic and Sally's coffin? I'm somewhat afraid to ask that question. I've said it before and I'll say it one last time. I've said it before and I'll say it one last time. You people thought furries ruined childhoods? And that's the end of his almost 4-page thoughts on Ian Flynn. Now, that's his opinion, which everybody's entitled to, and anybody watching this video can pretty much understand where he's coming from, whether you agree with Louis or not. There are some things here that, you know, I kind of don't know about. I mean, Louis, or LTH, let me put it to you like this, the other M thing, I will say this, LTH, anytime people bring that up to Ian Flynn saying it's a comparison, Ian doesn't like it, and honestly, being very unbiased here, I can't really blame him for wanting to move on from that, because that was just something he did when he was like a teenager and in high school and stuff, or whatever. So honestly, I can't blame him for wanting to move away from that and hating people comparing what he's doing. I can understand that. I can also understand how you, and as you put it, some others feel about him, how you feel he's on thin ice. But to answer one of your questions, to me, honestly, I'm trying to give Ian the benefit of the doubt, because he knows the fan base. He's basically one of us, but I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, because right now he's in a situation where his story arc, current story arc, is kind of being pushed to the side, if you will, starting next year. Well, not starting next year, but in the summer of next year, in favor of a crossover. Now, if the story arc comes to an end before that, that's great, but if it has to wait and come to an end afterwards in the main comic, then there's nothing we can really do about that. You see, so he's got a lot. So whether you like Ian or not, he's kind of got a lot on his mind right now. And truth be told, I think, in a sense, that he does. It's not him really that's making these decisions. It's not Archie Comics either. It's Sega. Sega is basically mandating certain things. Now, it's true what I said, what you quoted here, and I thank you for the reference, for mentioning me. You know, if I'm Ian Flynn, if you were in Ian Flynn's place, and I'm sure anybody else watching this would agree and maybe disagree, I would tell Sega of America, hey, look, you want us to do this comic book adaptation, let us do it our way. Let us do things that need to be done to move it forward. So you know what? Take your restrictions right now and shove it. You know, you don't like it? Find somebody else that's going to kiss your butt. And it's true. But right now, until he does that, or somebody at Archie does that, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place, so you can't really blame him. But again, these are your opinions, Louis, LTH. These are his opinions, folks. I will provide the link down below to where you can read them. And you got any responses, video responses or whatever, let me know down below. Comment if you like. And I will talk to you all later. Peace out. Sorry this was 2 parts. But I have a 29-minute time limit. So yeah, I did end before 25 minutes, but still it's better to end there than to keep going and then have the camera stop on you. I apologize in the first part for walking off when the phone rang, but hey, I'm a shoot style kind of guy, so I just let things flow. Again, like I said, if it was somebody from my family, I would have had to redo the videos. Or in this case, if it was just someone unknown and stuff, then that's a different story. But again, you got any comments? Leave them down below. Response if you like, and I'll talk to y'all later. If you want to respond to Louis-the-Hedgehog, I think he's here on YouTube. LTH, I think he's here on YouTube. If I can find his channel, I'll link it as well. But until then, peace out, God bless, and take care.